I'm Vinny Politan. This is Closing Arguments, and many of you may have children, teenagers, 20-year-olds, whatever, and they spend a lot of time on their computers, on their personal electronic devices, doing whatever they're doing, right? And you might think, hey, they're just wasting their time, wasting their lives. Get out there, go, learn something, make some money, get a job. Well, a lot of those young people are making a lot of money online. Some of those kids that are just gaming all day long are making thousands and thousands of dollars by people who like to watch them play video games. I don't understand it. I'll never understand it, but it's a thing. Then you've got, just walk down a busy street anywhere and you'll see someone doing one of these, or have their friend do it, whatever, and they're just taking pictures. Why are you taking pictures of yourself? What a waste of time. How vain are you? Well, it's also a business, especially for young, attractive women and men who take pictures of themselves that other people want to see. And, you post them on Instagram, maybe just to get a little attention, and then you say, hey, you want to see the real good pictures? I've got a website for you. It's called OnlyFans. Just pay me, I don't know, $10, $20, $30 a month, and you'll see the pictures that I'm not going to post on Instagram. That was the business model for a young woman named Courtney Clenney. Her online name was Courtney Taylor, and she posted a lot of pictures and had a lot of subscribers and was making a lot of money doing just that. But now her life has completely changed because the life of her boyfriend has ended, and she's charged with doing it. Joy Lim Nakrin, Court TV legal correspondent, has the story tonight.
A social media sensation, now a suspected killer. 26-year-old Courtney Taylor Clenney is charged with second-degree murder in the death of her 27-year-old boyfriend, Christian Obumseli.
The chief medical examiner of Miami-Dade County determined that Christian's cause of death was a stab to the chest. Christian was stabbed as the knife punctured the subclavian artery in his right chest.
It all happened following a fight at the couple's luxury apartment in Miami's upscale Edgewater neighborhood, and prosecutors say fights were common in this volatile relationship.
Evidence gathered during the investigation of Christian's death showed that since November of 2020, he and the defendant, Clenney, had been involved in an extremely tempestuous and combative relationship.
Officials say their apartment building management received so many complaints about their loud fights, they came close to being evicted. Building cameras captured this fight in February, just weeks before Obumseli was killed.
The chief medical examiner further determined that the knife entered Christian's chest in a downward angle to the depth of 3 inches. In other words, the medical examiner has indicated that the fatal knife wound, which entered Christian's chest, was the result of a forceful downward thrust penetrating to the depth of over just 3 inches into that artery you just saw.
Clenney's attorney claims she was acting in self-defense after Obumseli attacked her. In this statement to Court TV, Frank Prieto states, quote, "It is an absolute injustice to charge a victim of domestic violence and human trafficking with a crime." He went on to say, "We will vigorously defend Courtney and clear her of this unfounded and baseless charge." But questions are being raised about her claim. This video suggests Clenney was the aggressor, as it captures her repeatedly striking Obumseli. Clenney's attorney notes that the video does not depict the events leading up to what was captured in the elevator, and in a statement said, quote, "Obumseli was the abuser, the worst kind of abuser. He would manipulate and abuse Courtney in private when he thought nobody was around."
The violent and toxic 2-year relationship of Christian Obumseli and Courtney Clenney did not have to end in tragedy with Christian's murder as a victim of domestic violence.
The OnlyFans star first rose to fame as a bodybuilder.
My name is Courtney Taylor, and I'm about 8 days out from my first show, the NPC West Coast Classic. And today we're going to hit some back and vice, so let's get started.
She soon became a social media celebrity with some 2 million followers on Instagram, where she frequently posted pictures of the man she's now accused of murdering.
This homicide has gained some notoriety since the defendant, Clenney, is an internet social media personality and influencer under the name of Courtney Taylor.
Now, Clenney is finding that her fame has a downside.
Yeah, you should go. Because you just killed your boyfriend. Yeah, you did.
Strong words from the defense in this case, that she's a victim of human trafficking. Victim, that she's the victim in all this. That's the way this trial is going to play out. That she is the one who was being abused. She was the one who's being trafficked. I guess was being forced to do these OnlyFans videos. Let me bring in our think tank, figure this out. Joining us tonight in Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor Al Wunsch III is with us. In Stamford, Connecticut, criminal defense attorney Darnell Crossland. And in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, family law attorney Jennifer Brandt. Welcome to everyone. So Al, how does this happen? How can, because we know the allegations from the prosecution that she's abusing him, ultimately murders him. How do they attempt to establish that she's the victim of domestic violence, that she's being trafficked? I mean, there's lots of videos and pictures of her Instagram OnlyFans that have been produced. How are they gonna do that or attempt to do that, Al?
Well, one thing that they will have to do is try to get rid of any of the videos that are on OnlyFans. Because you know me, Vin, I went above and beyond the Call of Duty and went on this website to look into this young lady. And boy, was I surprised. I mean, this OnlyFans website is like a soft porn, hardcore porn site where these people get paid to engage in sexual acts, in which she's engaging in sexual acts with the man she eventually threw a knife at. And it deals with depraved miscreants who seek to only gratify one's basest and most immediate desires. And quite frankly, Ben, I found out very hard to turn away from it. But it's a very, very sad spectacle. For her to say she's being trafficked, it's going to be very difficult to convince of a jury when you're watching the videos that I saw. And for those of you at home, don't let the kids take a look at this, because this is, it's pornography. It's pornography. It's hardcore pornography. There is some soft porn. There is some people who wear bathing suits. I mean, Donna DeRico is on it. Carmen Electra is on it. My neighbor, Cardi B, is on it.
So Al is spending a lot of time on this website. So let's get back to the case. Darnell Crossland.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How do you establish that your client is a victim of human trafficking when she stuck a knife in him and killed him?
Well, you start with Al's research. Hustler, Playboy, now OnlyFans. This guy's having a great time with this research. So as to the question, they've given us this idea that she was a victim of domestic violence with no sizzler. What they would have to show is that she was being held in Miami or Hawaii, wherever she is, against her will. They have to show some text messages to friends or family saying that she really doesn't want to do this, but she's being forced to do so. They're going to also have to show financial records that show that the boyfriend was the one benefiting from all of this OnlyFans stuff, and she was only getting a portion of it. That's typically what you see in these human trafficking types of scenarios. If she's controlling the bank accounts and she's living the lifestyle, and she's, as this video shows, the abuser, they're going to have a hard time showing that. That's my opinion on that.
Yeah, I mean, if you are the victim of trafficking, this is not consistent with that. I mean, this is one of the reasons they released this video, was to try to demonstrate to the public what was going on in this relationship. The defense very angry about the release of this video. Here's another statement from Frank Prieto, who is the attorney for Courtney Clenney. He said to the CBS News in Miami, "I feel it's important that the court be made aware that that warrant that judge signed, that he did find probable cause. However, there's not probable cause for second-degree murder. At best, it's manslaughter. At best, it's manslaughter." So they're trying to get her out on bond. She is locked up right now, Jennifer Brandt. What are your thoughts about this situation? You're a family law attorney, so obviously you've dealt with tons of cases where there's violence and allegations of violence and cross allegations of violence. Obviously, he can't accuse her of anything because he's dead, but prosecutors will allege that she is the aggressor in all this. How do you get to the truth of what's taking place behind closed doors?
Well, it is difficult because it is usually a he said, she said matter, but when you don't have half of the equation, then obviously we only have what she says. And, you know, human trafficking may be a difficult one to prove, as Alan Darnell pointed out, but domestic violence can go on. And this clip from the elevator, just because she's hitting him doesn't mean that she was necessarily the aggressor in their relationship or that she wasn't a victim of domestic violence. And so, you know, she may be able to prove that she was acting in self-defense, that she was a victim of domestic violence. And how can we prove that? I mean, maybe other people who may have witnessed their some of their relationship or witnessed incidents where they were having fights and maybe could testify on her behalf as to why, you know, they believed it was caused. And maybe that, you know, point the finger at him and say that he was the aggressor all along. She was in this abusive relationship and she felt that there was no other way out. They got into an altercation and, you know, she stabbed him, unfortunately. So I don't think that's so far-fetched. You know, human trafficking may be harder, but the domestic violence, you know, we saw it with the Johnny Depp trial for sure. We heard a lot about it. So, you know, I think that may be what she.
Well, what we did hear though, the Johnny Depp trial was the testimony of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. So, Al Wunsch, does this mean that she now has to take her show onto the witness stand? Not, you know,
Absolutely.
She's used to being in front of a camera, not necessarily used to being on a witness stand charged with murder, but it seems like she's got to, at this point, tell her story to the jury to have any chance of success.
Well, you're right, Vin. I mean, she is going to have to take the stand, and it's Florida, and the popcorn guy got off. So, you know, all bets are off as far as I'm concerned. The popcorn guy was found to be self-defense.
Yeah.
So if the self-defense with the popcorn, God only knows, it's Florida. She's beautiful. She's walking. There's no doubt in my mind.
Darnell, let me ask you a question here. When it comes time to choose a jury in a case like this, I know that the race of potential jurors is never a consideration by any of the attorneys here with me tonight when picking a jury, because that's illegal. But do you think that the attorneys in this case might consider the race of the prospective jurors, not tell anyone that they're doing it, but may actually be doing that? What do you think?
Well, first of all, race is always a consideration when I'm picking a jury. You want to cross-reference, and the only thing that's illegal is under Kentucky versus Batson is if you exclude jurors based on their color. But you could always consider picking a jury that's mixed, if you would, because people bring different perspectives, and you need that. So what's illegal is striking people based on their race, not picking based on their race. In this particular, you're deep South, and you have a relationship between a black man who sounds like he's African, of African descent, and you have a blonde, pretty, beautiful white woman. So some jurors may think that was the problem in the first place. So you definitely want to kind of ferret out the type of jurors that you put on there, especially down as outside in Florida, because they might come with some preconceived notions that the crime was just the two of them together in the first place. They may not be as liberal as other places. So I would certainly make sure that if I was picking a jury there, that I'd make sure that I don't have people on the jury feeling as though that she should get off because she shouldn't have been with this brutal black man anyway.